All right, we're recording.
Hey girl,
What's up?
child, child.
Child.
I have a revelation.
Oh, come on.
I feel like this is something that we probably discussed several times, and I just need to reiterate this point. As you continue to grow and elevate in your space, understand and truly understand and recognize that you will be attacked. Your spirit, your environment, your space, you have to work so consciously to protect your space, because when you are leveling up and you're transforming, you're elevating, and during times of transition, the negative spirit will come to attack you in many ways than one, and you won't even recognize how it's coming for you.
Right.
It may come wrapped in a bow. It may come disguised as a gift. It may come disguised as a friend. It may come masked. You
Yep.
don't know how it's coming, but do beware and understand that it will come when you are on the plight to excellence. When you are a light and you provide such an aura and an energy, people recognize that, especially people who are full of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, the intention might be to take from your or to be surrounded by you because they recognize your light and they recognize your spirit and your energy. But at the end of the day, if they're not right within, that's going to pour over into you and your environment, into your space. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to be careful and very cautious of the energy that you walk into, even if it's and really the main message that I have for you today is that you have to trust your intuition and your spirit. If spirit told me not one, not two times, but three times Saturday not to go to this party in the middle of a
Wow.
global pandemic. It told me three
Wow.
times. I lost the key to a rental car that I rented.
Shit.
That was the first message. Like, okay, bitch, maybe you should stay your ass at home.
Right.
Second one, I don't even remember. It doesn't even matter. But I got three different signs that I should not have been around a bunch of people and a bunch of energy. And because I didn't listen to spirit, the universe said, well, I'm about to teach you. I tried to just knock you over your head a little bit when you lost the key. But because you
Right.
didn't listen to me and stay your ass at home,
Mm-hmm.
now I'm about to drag you across the flow. So now your whole night upside down because you decided not to listen to the first three signs. Not even just the first sign. You got three different signs to tell your ass that this may not be the time for you, to be around. So I just want us to always lead with intention, lead with this, with listening to and leaning upon spirit, also to trust and rely on your intuition. This is something that I struggle with because I always know. I always know every single
Yeah.
time, and we talked about it on the podcast. We talked about it off the record, on the record, whatever the fuck. I'm just like, why is it, and I know why. It's because I care about people and I always choose, I'm getting emotional, sorry,
It's okay.
I always choose people before myself, and that's my problem. Like, I always choose people before myself, and I'm not doing it anymore.
Don't. It's
Like, I
okay.
don't know how to be selfish, I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to my friend about it, and she was like, it's not that you have to be selfish, or lose the selflessness to who you are. You just have to choose you first.
Yeah.
And so I'm learning, I'm trying. But I learned a lot this weekend about, I mean, literally in less than 24 hours, I learned so many things: to be more responsible, to slow down. I move really, really fast when I'm like excited or like ready to
Mm-hmm.
have a good time, for other people, because
Yeah.
I'm I be so fine by myself. So it's like, but then it's just like, too, I don't want to get to a point where it's like I don't trust anybody's energy that I shelter or hide
Mm-hmm.
in my own space, and it's like
Right.
not talk to people. So it's just learning the balance and really just trusting, like I said, in myself and my intuition. What I'm like damn near psychic, and I really never trust what it is that I already know about myself. And I be mad at myself like all the time because I'm like,
Right.
bruh, you know better. Also,
Yeah.
another thing that I have to mention, just because this is important too, is that all of your choices, literally every single choice, is important and significant. From whether you decide to put your left pant leg on or your right, whether you decide to put one key in your hand or the other, every step that you make, all of these are choices that you make. And the less choices that you have to make throughout the day, the better. And that's something I read a long time ago about successful and like wealthy people. They make fewer choices.
Mm-hmm.
Like down to, I'm gonna wear the same white shirt, blue jeans, and sneakers,
Mm-hmm.
because the less choices you have to make, the more opportunity and time you can spend on something else. And
Right.
so just really being conscious of your choices and like your moves. I just urge everyone to just trust themselves, especially during these times. Like, you know yourself better than anybody right now. We've had enough time with self to recognize what we need and what we don't need. So yes, rely on spirit, lead with spirit, and just, yeah, I love y'all. And
Oh, we love you too.
yeah, thank you.
It's okay. It's okay. I really kind of wanted to do a double header revelation here,
Sure.
but you know, what you said was so impactful. I feel bad for almost taking it in the petty note that I want to take. Let me just say, I've been being tested lately in so many different ways. You know what I'm saying? And like,
Yeah.
the main way is I've always just been a person, when Kelly Rowland said, I'm not gonna dish you on the internet because my mama taught me better than
Better
that.
than that. She did.
I second grade Erica really took that to heart, and I've carried it with me. It's only been really one or two times that I've gotten out of character with somebody over the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because they've directly gotten out of character with me. I don't believe in subtweeting, especially not with friends and stuff. Because if you subtweeting me, you're not my friend because you got
Right. You
my
could have
phone
called
number.
me. Exactly.
Exactly. And, you could have expressed yourself. But I think social media has given people this false sense of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to tread lightly because I don't want to say that you should not have confidence, but I want you to, when you think that I'm thinking about you, I want you to then look within yourself and think, why would Erica be thinking about
Bruh,
me?
that's legitimately my thing. It's like all I do is mind my business. So why is it that I'm always on your mind?
Why would
And
Erica?
if I am, leave that in your head. You ain't gotta express
Yeah.
that to me. I don't give a fuck.
Why do you think? I love that people think, that people are growing in their confidence and thinking highly of themselves. But please just think back on why you think so highly of yourself that you think that you are a main subject in my mind. I am not thinking about you. I take a lot of pride in being able to not speak on something directly and allow other people to, speak to the wind and make themselves look foolish.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, you can never turn back and say, oh, well, Erica said XYZ. What did Erica say? Erica didn't say anything.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like, it's, please.
Fuck these folks, first of all. Second of all, I agree with everything you said though, seriously. Like, because I just really I just can't fathom, because I just I don't be having the time. Like, I'm trying to,
That's what I'm
bitch, I'm
saying.
getting too much money to hate. Larry June, the prophet, said this. He said this. Y'all go listen to that song. Y'all go listen to Larry June. He be dropping so many gems. But I'm done with it. I just want to let people know that and just make a public statement and say that I don't give a fuck about none of you niggas,
Man.
bitches, white folks, white
White passing.
I don't have the energy to acknowledge or to care or whatever about anything that is not adding dollar signs to my bank account. I mean, zeros to my bank account, or feeding my spirit in a positive and spiritual way. I don't have the bandwidth to deal with majority of the bullshit that's happening in the world. So I'm just like taking a moment to just like,
Yeah, I don't have time for childish things. And I especially don't have time for childish things or behavior from people who are older than me. It just does not.
younger, older, same age, it
Younger,
don't matter.
older, but especially if you're older, because I'm looking at you like you too fucking old for this shit.
Right.
So I just really don't have it. Sometimes you just realize when things are just not gonna serve you, and you just realize when things have run its course. And I'm a firm believer, and maybe this is something that I need to speak with my therapist about. Maybe this is the wrong thing, but I'm a firm believer. And you know, if you realize in that very moment that this is not the way that you want to go, you're well within your right to remove yourself from whatever situation that is, and not really have to explain yourself about the situation either.
Purrrr.
As long as you wish them well and go on about your business, you really shouldn't have too much more to say about me.
Peace.
And I don't have shit to
Bye-bye.
say about you.
Well, good riddance to all of that, honey.
Child,
Good
because I can't,
riddance.
like, and I probably gave in a little bit. I probably did a little bit too much. That might have been contradictory, but I just had to get that off real quick because I'm sick of, child, ain't nobody, like, please go on somewhere with that bullshit.
Purrrr.
Anyway, hey, girlfriend.
Hey, girlfriend. I'm
Hey,
Sammy.
it's me.
And we are back for another episode of Girlfriends Podcast. I really enjoyed that revelation. I think that was one of the realest that we've had this year. And it was much needed. So thank you for allowing me that time.
Thank you. I appreciate you allowing me that time as well. We're gonna have to, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's
It's
all right.
okay. We're
It's
moving forward. That's the best thing about life is that, you continue to just press it forward. So
absolutely.
exciting shit. We're going to move forward with our WCW. I'll go first.
Thank you.
Because I found this on Twitter and I have it right here. So I wanted my WCW to be Jasmine Twitty. That's
Mm-hmm.
Twitty. She's the Black woman who made history when she became the youngest judge at age 25 to
Wow.
ever be appointed or elected in the United States, which I'm wondering how she did that shit because law school, like, how, I don't know. I didn't really
Right.
look into this and I don't know. I mean, there's picture proof. She's sitting, this is South Carolina in the city of Easley. So she's sitting behind the little judge situation
Mm-hmm.
in the courtroom. So, I mean, I
I
guess
almost
it's
wanted to say
facts.
behind the pulpit, but that's the wrong room. That's the wrong
Wrong.
room.
That's the room we need to be in.
Child, the upper
Behind
room.
the upper
Okay.
room, behind the pulpit. Okay.
Okay.
No, she's not a pastor. She is the youngest judge that was appointed or elected rather in the United States at the age of 25. So shout out to Jasmine Twitty. I saw this on Twitter. If it's not facts and you're older than 25, whatever, it's still a great accomplishment that you are sitting as a judge. We need more Black women in the courtroom to
Absolutely.
protect our community and
Absolutely.
serve our community. So thank you.
Love that. Shout out to her. My WCW this week is Dawn Richard, because she just announced a partnership with Adult Swim.
Uh-huh.
I'm getting this from wrapup.com, but she teamed up with Adult Swim for a new creative project that will spotlight diverse artists on Adult Swim's online and linear platforms. She's the first Black artist to serve as a creative consultant for the channel, and she will create other opportunities for Black creatives. So shout out to Dawn. I vaguely remember, I'm like digging way back into my memory bank here, but I remember watching Making the Band, and Dawn was like doing comics and stuff. Like, first of all, she was the one that came up with the name Danity Kane, but
Mm-hmm.
she was like doing like she was really into comics and like drawing and stuff like that. And so she
Mm-hmm.
kind of like created these little characters for them and stuff. So it was super cool to see like that she's kind of kept that and is now
Full
carrying,
circle.
yeah, and it's full circle now, and to like bring this to Adult Swim, like I'm really excited for her. So
That's
shout out to
amazing.
Dawn. Also shout out to Dawn just because we really don't give Dawn Richard what she deserves musically. She is an incredible artist. There's a reason why she made the cut, clearly. And made the other cut too, when he told them girls to go home. Child, that
Child.
that was so messy. I
Making a
watched
band was messy.
I
Diddy is
rewatched.
messy.
He was so messy for the way he went about that. Like, oh my gosh. That's why I'm like, we
Child.
don't need a new Making a Band. Just put the old ones up, child.
Yeah, well, I do want to see the old ones again. I watched Day 26 being formed. That was fun.
Okay, I want to
Good
watch.
times.
I want to watch the band fight and get their studio privileges revoked. Like, why I can't watch that? Okay, but yeah, shout out to Don Richard.
Also, just shout out to like being consistent with your passions and like things that you
Yeah.
never know when it can happen, but if you continue to have that in the forefront of your mind or like in your mind at all, just like the things that you want to accomplish,
Hmm.
it can still happen for you, as long as you have breath in your body and you
Amen.
are functioning, you can do the things that you always wanted to do. I want everybody who's listening to this to really like think back at your childhood and some of the things that you were really super passionate about as a child, and see if you are doing any of those things today, because those are your most authentic
Yep.
passions. And just to see, like you said with Dawn, that coming full circle, that makes me so happy, because I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, there's so many things that I haven't accomplished that may not necessarily align with what it is that I'm doing now, but it's still something that I want to do or I'm passionate about, and you can still do that shit.
Yeah.
So
It's also
remind
just
yourself.
it's also just a huge lesson, excuse me, in
Patience.
patience,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean that was what, damn near 10 years ago that I remember her doing that on the
Mm-hmm.
show, and now look at her. Who knows how long that's been like an interest for her? You know what I'm saying? And for so long, I mean, even what you just said about childhood passions, like literally what started me back up on like writing and like taking all this shit seriously with me, cleaning my room and finding all of this old classwork, all of these old notes, songs that I was writing in like middle school and shit like that, like all of these different things. And I'm like, wow, you was actually out here writing for real. What the fuck happened? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what happened along the way that made you stop doing this and made you stop like expressing yourself in that way? You know what I'm saying? And I think once you tap into that and start to like heal whatever stopped you, then it's only up from there.
Purrrr.
Great, wonderful. What you
Mhm.
been on, girl, on the music tip?
I'm like, yeah, specify, because I've been on bullshit. Um, I what have I been on in music? Honestly,
Oh, Millie shit. That's what I've been on.
Flo Millie shit. That's what I was about
Okay.
to say. Literally
Oh,
that. Ho, why is you here? But I'm
okay.
not gonna lie. Out of the however many songs are on, it's what, 12 songs. I only downloaded 4 of them because I couldn't do the whole album personally. Now I understand that it's not for me. I think that her album's not for me. But I do like 4 songs, and I keep those in rotation. And I'll let you say what you like about it before I say which songs I like.
Okay. No, I like the whole thing. I did hear that a lot of people were like, because some people were saying like her voice and stuff like that, like it's a lot. I personally don't mind it at all. It's kind of one of the things that caught my attention to her as an artist, where I was like, oh, okay, like I kind of like this like matter of fact, uppity, like,
She
but still,
reminds me, like her voice reminds me of Baby Tate, young Baby Tate,
mm,
like that
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's cute for
Yeah,
sure, but
it's cute.
for me, I guess it became repetitive, which is the
Mhm.
issue that I have across the board with music. And it don't have nothing to do with Flo Millie. She's doing, her and her team did a fabulous job. They're doing a great job with
Mhm.
doing what works. Short ass songs, redundant lullabies, like that's what works. So I'm not, it's no shade to the project at all. I, like I said, I like four of them, and the four of those songs I will continue to play. But like overall, I know that that music is not necessarily for me. She's young, like she's like, this is what people want to
Yeah.
hear, period.
Yeah. I think it'll go up. Like this is definitely like bad bitch,
Energy.
energy, when we finally are able to like go out and about without the fear of dying. Then I think this is something great to put on in retrospect with your homegirls as y'all are getting ready to go out somewhere.
Yes, I do agree with
it's
that.
it's definitely that. But I really enjoy, and wow, as soon as I said I was about to go in, my screen goes black.
I
like
like,
like
oh, go
that
ahead.
bitch.
Like that bitch, in the party,
Yes.
weak, and
Yeah.
send the Addy. Like those are my favorites.
For me, it's like that bitch. I mean, I'm not even counting in the party and B flow mix because I like those already.
Okay.
But like that bitch, pockets bigger is my shit. Weak, and then not friendly is my shit also.
I did like Not Friendly too.
Yeah. Cause
Um,
she using some very like 2000s, like when we was in middle school ass samples, and I'm like, oh,
that's my other thing. Like she's super influenced. You could tell, like, and inspired by a lot of like she's done her history. She's not
bitch.
like just some young girl who just like came into music, right? Like
Right.
she, you could tell she really enjoys music. And I also like that she's Southern. She's from Alabama.
Mhm.
We ain't really had like, yeah,
Child,
we
when she
haven't
said
had an
I'm from
artist,
Alabama, I said, wait, hold on, run that back.
right?
She
So
said
she,
something about bitches from Mobile. I'm like, Mobile where?
right. She is a Southern girl. She's from Alabama. She putting on for her city. I fuck with it because
Child,
it's not
definitely.
really nobody that came out of Alabama. You think about it, like that is
That
has
puts
had that
on for
much success
Alabama.
or puts on for Alabama. They
No.
probably like, oh, I moved to Atlanta when I was younger, so I'm
Yeah,
from
kind of like how Knoxville do. I mean, Usher do with like Tennessee.
Chattanooga. What is it,
Yeah,
Chattanooga?
I think either Chattanooga and Knoxville, one of them. I know it's not Nashville. I don't know if not
Um,
Memphis.
well, yeah, Ho As You Here. Y'all check that out, Flo Millie. I definitely like that. There's a project from Currency that just came out. Currency and Harry Franco, I think, or
Hmm.
I
I've
don't
heard
even
about
know.
this.
Yeah, it's called The Outrunners. He has features from Rick Ross, Conway, Jim Jones, Wiz Khalifa. It's good. Like I would get into it. It's Wiz. I mean, it's not Wiz.
Hmm.
It's Currency, so it gives Currency vibes. It's not
Right.
really much to really like elaborate on that, but I do fuck with Currency, so I have to make mention. Of course, Gunna's Wanna Deluxe. He added a few songs to the Wanna project, which I enjoy. Um, I can't even tell you which songs I like most. I just really fuck with the whole project, and it took me some time to fuck with Wanna, because I hadn't. It's just like I hadn't been in a space or the mood to really listen to rap music for real.
Hmm.
But it's great, so I enjoyed that. And then there's a song called Spaghetti by Smino, Jid, and Kenny Beats. That's good too. It's like
Okay.
it's a 3 minute song, it's super short, but it's like cute little cover art. Yeah.
Cool. I finally got into the Catronata and Lucky Day. I have been playing that nonstop for
Non-stop.
the
The
past
best
couple of
song
days.
ever.
It's so good. I love
Shout out
Catronata
to my
so
husband.
much. I love Lucky Day. Actually, and my last pick is featuring Lucky Day as well.
What
But
is it?
Buddy and Lucky Day have a song called Faces.
I
Um,
saw that.
I really like Buddy. I
So
like
good.
Lucky Day as well. He's one of the few men with maturing dreads that I would give, the keys and security codes to. Um,
Relax, relax. That's my husband. Relax.
I'm giving him props and telling him that he's an anomaly. Um, Listen.
I'm just saying, not too much.
Okay, girl. No, just kidding. Because that's how I feel about Yaya and like.
We're not even going. Oh, shout out to Ayaya for the Emmy
I
now.
was gonna shout out Bay when we got into the TV and stuff, but since we're here, me and my husband were so thankful for all of the well
Oh my
wishes. No,
gosh.
I'm just kidding. Shout out to Yaya and all of the other amazingly talented Black folks who have been nominated for Emmys today. We're recording this on Tuesday, clearly. Issa, Yaya, Regina King, Zendaya, um, Cicely Tyson, just everybody. The field is so diverse this year. Kerry Washington for Little Fires Everywhere got her
Mm-hmm.
nom. They did not give one to Reese Witherspoon, which I was very surprised at. Actually, they snubbed the fuck out of Reese Witherspoon twice on two different roles. They snubbed her for Little Fires Everywhere, and they snubbed her for The Morning Show. I was very surprised
Damn.
at that because
Damn.
the people love Reese. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the people do love Reese. That's
And I feel
strange.
like if her getting snubbed for The Morning Show, we're just gonna flow right into TV. Her getting snubbed for The Morning Show was surprising, but like kind of sort of understandable when you stack her performance next to Jennifer Aniston's, which
Mm-hmm.
I think really showed the fuck out in The Morning Show.
Mm-hmm.
But her getting snubbed for Little Fires Everywhere was actually very shocking to me because I
Yeah,
just knew her and Carrie were gonna both pull that down. Like,
yeah, yeah, me too. But sucks.
it is what it
Yeah,
is.
it is what it is. Like I do like
It is what
Reese,
it is.
but
I do like Reese. Speaking of snubs, I really don't know how to say her name correctly.
who?
I'm
Or obviously you can't. What? But from where?
a Jeanway, a Jean. I'm just gonna A. Ellis. Her last name is Ellis, but she played Dr. Maddie Moss Clark in the Clark Sisters
Oh,
TV movie.
special.
And
Yeah.
I just knew when she threw that shoe in that sanctuary that was going to submit her nomination for limited series, best actress in a limited series or something like that. At least give us best supporting actress in a
Right.
limited series. I don't know how the people at Lifetime were campaigning. Maybe they could have gone along a little harder. I'm not sure. But y'all missed out on that one because she did what the fuck she had to do. And if anybody would really love to tell me how to pronounce her name, I've been trying to figure out how to pronounce her name ever since she was in Ray and I was a
Oh
child.
yeah, she
So
wasn't
yeah,
ready.
like I really hate that I can't say her name correctly. I'm not
It's
about to
okay. We're
finish
gonna figure it
right
out. We're gonna figure it
now.
out.
But yeah, still, either way, shows. I have been watching Greenleaf. Hey man.
Hey man.
Okay, and we're talking the new episode is airing right now, but we talked earlier about being tested.
Mm.
And when I tell you the Greenleafs were tested in a way, like basically if you've been watching, I'm just going to give a brief overview. If you have not, then this is just going to be, enough for you to get you going, but not enough to spoil too much.
Mm.
But basically, the Greenleafs have lost Calvary child. They done sold the Calvary down to the white folk. Charity has gotten fired from the church. So everybody is back together,
Mm-hmm.
on one accord. They have Basie Skanks child and all his siblings are still up to their tomfoolery. But we now know Basie is dead, according to Tasha Skanks, and that Latoya Luckett is still out there somewhere. Well, she came back in this episode or in last week's episode. And just anyway, but they have another sister, and the other sister, she is a little she seems to be less evil than both Basie and Latoya. I can't remember. Rochelle is her name. Let me stop calling
Mm-hmm.
her.
Rochelle.
Rochelle. She's a lot less evil. She runs like a um a shelter and like a kind of a community church all in one together, and she doesn't have much. It's a very humble operation, but she's doing the Lord's work with what she has. And so where it all comes back to the house and whether or not the house was actually supposed to go to the Greenleafs, and the Skanks' father, like, was he supposed to, was he killed for the Greenleafs to get the house, X, Y, and Z. And so basically, this girl, she kind of wants to exercise her rights. She says she knows she doesn't really have a strong legal claim because basically the house was willed. The house was owned by some old white lady, and then she willed it to this black man. Right, exactly. Some people
He
were
must have been laying some pipe or something. What's going
okay.
on?
That's the tea I think we get into this week. Okay, because they're trying to figure out why was
What's
she,
the connection?
what was it about? Like, why, how did they even know each other?
Right. Yeah, he was laying some pipe. You know how
Okay,
black
we
men
know how
do.
they knew each other. He knew some things.
He knew all up and through that.
All right. Okay. He put on that buddy and then Lucky Day. They was making
Come
babies.
on, make
Okay. Um, but yes, so they're trying to figure out all that. She's, and then after, of course, his untimely death, that's when the will was redone and the house
Mhm.
was left to the Greenleafs. So she's saying, like, I know I don't have a strong legal claim, but I'm just, thinking about basically what God would want her to do with a house like that. She's like, I can really take what I'm doing here and do that times 10 and really create, a shelter. And of course, they send the Greenleaf men to go talk to her twice. Like Jacob went to go see her. That, of course, did not go well. Bishop went to go see her. That, of course, it went okay, but not the greatest. So they send Lady May. So she's telling all of this to Lady May. Like, she's like, think of what I could do, with all of what you guys have. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I at least want to try. And so Lady May walks out of this situation like, I think we have to give her this house. Like, God is telling me we have to give her this house. And
Mm.
everybody else is and it's so crazy because when God will tell you something that is like not the most popular thing to do, and like Lady May, like you could tell she was like disappointed, but she's like, no, like the Lord is telling me, like, this is what I have to do. This is what we should be doing. Like,
Right.
and that, we'll figure it out and everything will be okay. And just as they are sitting up, they both go to her shelter situation and are about to tell her, listen, we are going to give you this house. It's not going to be no back and forth. We're going to follow God's word and give you this house. As soon as they go to do that, damn, her Rochelle answered the door. So now her whole credibility has been shattered because, you're thinking that she's like the good sibling.
Mm.
But we don't know what kind of plan you done cooked up with your
Right.
sister who done already conned Bishop and then out of millions of dollars, child.
Millions of dollars. Yeah.
Millions of dollars.
I heard
Okay.
Rochelle was evil on the show.
Okay, she was putting it down. She was laying it low and spreading it wide, as Evelyn Braxton would say. Um, Prayers to the Braxton family. While we're speaking
Absolutely.
on it, we never spoke about Tamar, but prayers to the family. Prayers to Tamar. We hope that
She's doing well.
she's
Yeah.
doing well and that she continues to push through.
Yes.
But yeah, child, Greenleaf is a mess.
Girl, that's what that show is, a mess.
It's
I
a
can't keep
mess,
up.
but I enjoy it, child.
But I enjoy it. I
I
enjoy me some
enjoy it.
mess.
It's so
You
good.
stupid.
My other show I'm gonna talk about really quickly. We just randomly started watching. Me, my mom, and my sister started watching this show called In the Dark. It's on
Mhm.
Netflix. It comes on the
Mhm.
CW.
Mhm.
And we're still like on season 1. But it's actually very good. It's about a young lady named Murphy. She's blind, and so she one of her closest friends has been murdered,
Mhm.
and she kind of takes it upon herself to figure out who did it and why. And it's very like not normal for her to be doing this because her mom in the show said, Murphy doesn't really care about anybody or anything. Like, and
Mhm.
you're just gonna have to accept that. Like, she told that to one of the people at her job. Like, it's taken me 27 years to learn it, and I've just let it go. I said, okay, well, that sounds very white of you, ma'am. But either way, it's a really dope show. I highly suggest y'all watch it. And it teaches you some new things. Like, I like learning about like, I think that's why we need more people, um more differently abled people in television and in movie. Like, we need that representation because it kind of just exposes you to how those people live their lives. Like, I would have never, not that I would have never known, but it just would have never dawned on me if, I had a friend who was blind, that I would need to walk them around my room and tell them this is here. And you know what I'm
Right.
like?
Right.
Like the
Right.
simple things like that that we take for granted as people who can
Can
see.
see.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, even I said this years ago when we were watching Master of None when that was still coming on, and they had that whole scene where it was a deaf, lady communicating like in a store, and it
Mm-hmm.
went silent for like 2-3 minutes, and I look up and I'd have missed all of this dialogue because she was doing ASL. So yeah, I really think that that needs to be a part of this whole diversity push that Hollywood is doing. Like, let's just, if we're gonna talk about how everybody needs representation, like let's really make sure that everybody gets the representation. It should,
Right.
people who are differently able, it shouldn't be taboo. Like,
Right.
at this point, they've been around us
Absolutely.
all of our lives, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
they're human beings just like the rest of us, so we need to see their stories too.
I agree. I wanted to just talk briefly about a movie that I was watching in the late night on Sunday, I think, called The House That Jack Built.
Mm,
And it, I want to say, was on Netflix,
mm-hmm.
and it is about a serial killer, a psychopath, and it explores his OCD. It explores like all of the elements of like who he is as a, or who, what I guess people who do have this sort of like mental disorder or like infatuation with killing people. It explores like all of the things that they deal with. So like OCD is a big thing. So he like, it showcases him like going back into his victim's home and space several times,
Oh wow.
checking like it shows his mind or what he's thinking. And I don't know, I just thought it was really strange. I also was really, really geeked. So I didn't even finish, like I was so tired I couldn't finish the whole movie, but it had me so intrigued, and we were literally watching it with music, so I'm just reading the subtitles. I'm not even,
Oh
but the
god.
visuals, but I'm just saying, like, even like imagine not listening to it at first. Like I wasn't even listening to it, but I was so captivated. I'm listening to music and reading the subtitles to a movie that's like in English. Like that's how you know it was actually really pretty good. So I would check that out. I mean, it's also kind of a little creepy, so we don't really talk about those types of shows that often, but I do think that it's something different that you guys can explore and check out. So The House That Jack Built is the name of that one, and it's on Netflix.
Cool.
Cool. All right, girl. Um, so we're not going to get into much of a sip necessarily, but we do
Yeah.
have to address what's going on with, first off, yeah, we have to address what's going on with Megan Thee Stallion. She just recently put out a statement. I wouldn't say put out a statement, but she was on her Instagram live,
Mm-hmm.
and she was speaking on, just her recovery process, what she's been dealing with, what she's been struggling with. And honestly, she talks about how she got shot in both her feet. So
Yeah.
let's start there. Those are the facts. She got
Yeah, we
shot in both of
haven't
her feet.
we haven't really covered this on the show at all, but for those who are listening who are like under the biggest rock, um Meg the Stallion, she got shot a couple weeks ago. She was hanging out with Tory Lanez, apparently, allegedly. Tory Lanez is the person who shot her in the foot, and details are still very unclear. Ultimately, it is none of our business, but the reception, or I guess the feedback, I don't want to say feedback, but the reaction to people hearing, excuse, that's the word, the reaction that people had when hearing that she got shot, was just really disappointing, really disheartening. A lot of it came from Black men, and I don't want to sit up here and do this whole thing with y'all and put y'all on the spot like this, but it's a thing that needs to happen. So, yeah, a lot of people were making fun of her, making jokes, and people getting shot is not a joke at all.
Yeah, I
At
think,
all.
like you said, with the internet and social media, like people feel extremely confident to talk on things, and then they try to. I mean, we're so desensitized that, like, even when
Yeah.
people are dealing with real shit. And I was so happy that she was vulnerable and confident enough to get on her Instagram live and share that with us, because she really did not have to,
She did not.
and she tried to keep it together as best as she could, But when she started speaking about how she's literally lost both. She's 25. She doesn't have either of her parents with her. She lost her grandmother as well,
Mm-hmm.
all in the same time frame. And it's just like, you know, she's like, her mom's her best friend, and she starts to tear up. And I'm just like, wow, to have that sort of vulnerability and to be that transparent with your fans is
Mm-hmm.
something that a lot of celebrities don't owe to us, one, but two, that she's willing to share. And I think that that is just shows how much of a real bitch she is. And I respect her. She never talks about who did this to her. Obviously she probably can't, you know, due to like legality things, but
Right.
I think that I'm just asking that, you know, and I'm happy also that she recognized and she made it very aware that she is not, uh, that she knows that she had gotten too, like, she started moving too fast, similar to what I
Mm-hmm.
was talking about before. She started moving too fast, being around the wrong people, not really evaluating the relationships and the access that people have to you as
Right.
you continue to climb and become successful. It's very difficult. And because she doesn't have her mom, who was also in the industry, who could guide her, because she doesn't have her in the present world and just the spiritual world, it's you have to be more grounded to connect
Right.
there and to really understand that you got to be cautious. Like, these people do
Yeah.
not have your best interest at heart, especially out here in the hills. Like, you got to just be careful. And I'm grateful that she acknowledged that, and that she is, um, you know, just walking in her light.
Yeah. Um, I love all of what you said, but I really I just hate the fact that it had to be brought to this point. I hate the fact that Meg had to get up on Instagram like, excuse me, as cute as she was, she looked great. Okay. I hate that she had to get up on Instagram Live and cry and be vulnerable for people to really understand how serious the situation is and that it's not a joke. Like, you know, you got people out here posting 50 Cent posting memes and they want to roll it back and apologize because, oh, he didn't realize that it was like really like what, as a person who's been not shot 9 times before, what about getting shot do you not
Do
realize
you find this
is
find
serious?
funny? Do you
Like
find
I'm
funny?
so confused. Sometimes I really think, did you need 10? Okay, to realize, did you need 11, 12 bullets? I don't. How many bullets, 50 Cent, is it gonna take for you to stop laughing at folk pain? Because nobody laughed at yours as much as you monetized off of it. Quiet as it's kept.
Mm,
Okay,
mm.
stop that bullshit. I'm very, 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 very fucking tired of Black women putting the race on our backs, okay? And then as soon as something happens to us, it's a joke or it's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? Or
Or
nobody's
just
taking,
never feeling protected, never
never
feeling
feeling protect.
safe.
Exactly.
I didn't grow up. I didn't grow up in an environment with my brothers or my brother's friends not feeling safe. They
Right.
always, and you can attest to this, like, you know, being around my brother and stuff, like, he's a my older brother, speaking of my older brother, but like, he's a very southern, I we're close in age, but he's a very southern gentleman, like, down to it. At the end of the day, very charismatic. He's not gonna seek out any trouble. But one thing about it,
Yeah.
fuck with his people,
Okay.
especially a woman, knowing that you were raised by women. That's what I don't understand about Black men. It's like, you were literally, we birthed you. We birthed you. We birthed your children. How do you not have that respect for, like, how does it get to a point, Tory Lanez or whoever it was, where you pull out a gun to shoot somebody? You know what I mean? A woman at that. Like, did she intimidate you that much? Because I know at the end of the day, there's no reason and no excuse, nothing that she could have said or done to you to make you pull out a gun
Yeah.
and shoot her in the feet. Like, I I still don't understand. But what I was saying was, like, even when I was around my brother's friends, like, I just always felt very safe. Like, I could go outside and just feel like I'm protected by my neighborhood, down
Yeah.
to people who are not even my family. You know what I mean? So now in this time, it's like everybody is so concerned and uh so infatuated with self that they don't acknowledge that the only way that we grow is community and protecting one another and like really being present for one another.
Right. And I don't think people realize that when black women heal, like regardless of whether or not we want to be, you know, responsible for people's healing and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, you know what I'm saying, and teaching people things, because please believe we're tired of doing it. We do it all the time, and we're tired of saving folks, we're tired of saving this country from itself. We're tired of, like, it's very exhausting to always have to be the ones to step in and make some shit right, you know what I'm saying. Even now, the whole fact that y'all got Joe Biden even considering having a black female VP is because, black women got Doug Jones elected to the Senate in Alabama overwhelmingly, and all of a sudden it was listen to black women in power, even though you know what I'm saying, like, y'all want to, it's always we got to come in and fix some shit.
Yeah, Captain Save-A-Ho. I'm tired of it.
Exactly.
I
And
told
it's
you
like,
I'm done.
who is gonna come in and pour into us and fix us? Because when we begin to be healed, that's when everybody else, like, y'all feed off of that. So I'm just not understanding. She said in a tweet, black women are so unprotected and we hold so many things in to protect the feelings of others without considering our own. It might be funny to y'all on the internet and just another messy topic for you to talk about, but this is my real life, and I'm real life hurt and traumatized. And
Like
especially,
getting shot is no joke. I don't even
yeah,
understand. I couldn't fathom the internet at that moment because I'm
right.
like
I had
some
to
of
get off. I had to just log off.
some of the stuff like in response, like her people's predictions to what she would respond to in a song were, I'm not gonna lie, like pretty damn good in terms of like the lines and the lyrics. But I'm also like the memes and the other things, and like I mean, just commenting on it in general was just out of out of line. Like why do we take it there all the time? Like,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to our people. Like, I'm not gonna say that if Kylie Jenner were in that situation that I would have the same sentiments, but I still wouldn't talk about someone getting shot. You know what I
But
mean?
see, if Kylie Jenner got shot, this would be a completely different conversation.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, because this wouldn't be the conversation.
This would,
It
yeah.
wouldn't even be the narrative. You know what I mean?
Right.
It would be,
It would be
and
prayers for
and
Kylie.
and the whole idea of like some of these podcasts, like, no, I don't even have to discuss which ones they were, but like having interviews trying to protect, trying to make an excuse for why she could have possibly gotten shot, like trying to
There's
defend,
literally
like,
no excuse.
oh, I heard from somebody who was there that my sources told me that she was popping off at the mouth, shit like that. Like, what are you talking about, Drea? What are you talking about? There was so, like, people were just saying things, and it's like, y'all
Drea,
really,
can I speak on Drea? Drea,
no, I don't
you
even.
worry about your children, how they're eating,
Right,
okay?
right,
How they're sleeping at night. You worry about getting that baby's homework done. Since a couple of years ago you was complaining about signing the damn homework, and look at you now. You got to teach the damn homework.
right.
Okay? You as a mother have bigger fish to fry and other things to worry about. Okay?
I just don't feel like, I'm tired of people saying things and then coming back to apologize. Like, we just have to be more careful about the things that we say and how we say them, why we say them, just be more
just
intentional. I'm
saying
tired
shit
of
for
people.
laughs.
I'm also just tired of people talking. Like, I saw posted that today. Like, it's like, I get paid to talk. You know what I mean? Like, this is our job. Like, we actually do this for a living. Now, and still, even still, I choose how I say things, right?
Yeah.
Y'all don't get no type of income from saying things, especially like celebrity people who are like, if you're not an artist or whatever, like if you are a working artist, I should say, there is no reason for you to make any sort, like, you could just really be quiet. You don't have to say anything. No one asked for your opinion.
Okay.
Nobody asked for you to say anything. Like you said, social media has really just given people so much confidence behind that keyboard and behind that screen. And it's just like, I
Or
would
people are
like to
so
see it.
thirsty to have this like viral moment, you know, and it's just like, no, you, whatever made you think that you could sit up on a podcast? And I hate, really, honestly, that women get up on these podcasts ran by men and lose all they goddamn sense and lose all they wherewithal and start and just be kikiing with the men as if what they're saying is not completely just problematic to it. Like, be, if you're gonna be a woman on a podcast full of men, you better be the woman, and you better stand up and provide that perspective. But if you just gonna be the one to kiki and agree with everything that they gotta fucking say, what are you there for?
Facts.
You're not there for shit. You're not doing your job. The whole point of different folks being on there is for perspective. If you're not offering none of that shit, then you can go on somewhere else. What the fuck made you think that you could get on a podcast and giggle about domestic violence while all while being employed by a domestic violence survivor? I don't understand why that wasn't a thought to you.
By a
Why
domestic
why you
violence survivor.
why she was a Fenty ambassador.
Oh.
Drea was a Fenty ambassador. She not no more.
Mm.
Why you think you could play with up in Rihanna's face like that? And Meg is a Fenty ambassador too.
Purrrr.
I'm not understanding. If anything, and this is what I mean, this is what I meant last week about really getting in, ahead of the game and being able to control your narrative and, get certain things out there before you really pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not thinking, how can you sit up here and say that you're about your bag and you're about money and you're about business and not think about how the things you say can affect your business? But even further from that, because honestly, it's fuck business in this whole conversation.
Right, right.
How
It's
could you as a
life.
woman, you know what I'm saying, sit there and laugh about some shit like that? Because Dre, if you sat up there and got your ass beat, God forbid, you wouldn't want nobody to laugh at you. You wouldn't want nobody to say, "Oh,
But
it's
see,
that cute
people
Bobby and Whitney shit." Let's not stop romanticizing Bobby and Whitney. None of that shit was cute.
facts. It also just like proves that because we talked about this previously on last season, just about what's her name? Fabulous's girl wife,
Oh, Emily
Emily.
B. Yeah.
They're expecting another baby, and I think the bigger picture that I'm noticing is that a lot of women think that it's cute. They think that it is acceptable. They accept it in their own lives, so they feel that other women should as well. Now,
Yeah.
if that's your opinion and you're okay with like violent relationship that you have between you and your partner, that's your opinion. I don't want us to continue to spread that narrative to other people and to younger girls who
Exactly.
to think that that is okay, that you should
Right.
be fighting with your partner. You
Exactly.
don't have a relationship with someone to fight. That's not the point of it. No, I'm not saying that you won't get into arguments or disagreements rather, but there's a way. I mean, just fighting in general, and this is coming from someone who literally just got into a scuffle, not with a nigga, but whatever. This is coming from someone who fights. I believe that there I believe that things don't have to be resolved from physically harming someone when we're grown enough to have mature conversations, especially not between a man and a woman. A man, one, should never put his hands on a woman, period. Even if the woman decides to put her hand, which is not okay either, on him. My mom has always taught my brother, and his dad has always taught him the same thing, and with my younger brothers as well. There's no excuse. You're
Yeah.
bigger than the woman,
Yeah.
period. Like, if she being your ass, you need to figure out how to just like kind of hold her
And even
down.
if you're not
Like,
bigger than the woman, because I mean, we did find out that Tory Lanez is a smooth 5. He's 5'2". Okay, no, not fine too. He's 5'2". Okay, he's 5'2" and 130 pounds,
right. Well, yeah,
and it
even if
don't
you're
even
not
matter.
bigger, even if you're not bigger than the woman, and she's, manhandling you. The point is that for one, we should just stop. We should just stop. Like
Yeah, you
don't
don't get in a relationship to just say, "Oh, well, even if he did," like this whole notion that there has to be this like deep suffering in order to later experience some type of joy in a relationship as Black women. Like, no, we don't have to suffer. We don't have to put up with bullshit.
Bruh,
We
that
don't
is a
have to
word.
we don't have to be hurt
But you
to
know
prove
why?
that we're worthy of love. Like, our worth should not be, attached to how long we stuck around through some bullshit.
Come on, somebody.
No.
You know why we feel like we have that is love? Because that's what we're accustomed to. You're
Mhm.
accustomed to being hurt. You're accustomed to not feeling wanted or not being desired or desirable. So as
Okay.
soon as you find someone who's showing you some sort of affection, whatever that may look like, you don't even know what affection is supposed to look like.
Mhm.
I think that before we start to establish relationships with people, be it platonic, be it intimate, whatever that is, you have to first love yourself and choose how to be loved. How do you choose to love yourself? What does that look like? Ask yourself these types of questions. Why are you seeking out love
Mhm.
without having it within first? So
Yeah.
these questions, once you have the answers to those, then you don't even got to seek it. It's gonna the right person and the
Mhm.
right energy is gonna come to you. That was the most important thing that Meg said on her live. She said that right now she's just not in a space. Things have been changing in her career and things are changing in her life. She's evolving and it was happening so fast. She hasn't even been able to really process anything that's happened.
Yeah.
So it's not the time to have new relationships. It's time for you to get right within.
Yeah.
Period. Like that this is the space where you heal, and then I promise you, I guarantee you, anybody listening to this, that the things that are for you are going to come to you. I'm not in a position to have a new relationship or a new friendship because I have to get my shit together
Yeah.
here. This has to be okay before I can
Right.
then have add somebody else to, because all you're gonna do is just add more madness on top of your madness.
Mhm.
That's it. That's the end of that. No new friends, no new booze until you get right within. Period.
Period. You gonna wear this purrrr
I
out,
am.
okay?
Roller Ray be having me crying.
And Roland Ray said he was gonna roll over your feet, 50 Cent, next time you start jumping crazy. Okay, so don't find yourself. Listen, last time I was in DC, I saw Roland Ray down at Gallery. Okay,
You did
crossing the street, and it was the highlight of my time. Okay, but I pray that you never find yourself in Gallery 50 Cent, and I hope that if you do, that Roland Ray is there waiting on you, ready to
At the
hike that
door.
damn scooter up and
At
run
the door.
over your feet because you deserve. I'm so tired. Like, it's just, and it's crazy because, and I said this early on Twitter, if you keep getting in the same situation, like if the same people, if you have the same problem with different people,
It's
then
you.
it's you.
You're the
Okay?
common
How
denominator. Why do you
many
think
people
so many things are going bad?
how
Because
many
you're the common
people
denominator.
does it, and that's why I feel like, when Black men are like, oh, y'all always tearing us down and y'all always got saying da, 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 da. Well, if you would listen, if all of these Black women are saying they don't feel protected, then maybe it's actually true.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we actually don't feel protected for real, and then it's time for y'all to look within and say, well, why don't they feel protected? It's like they want to sit up here and subscribe to this whole, to this patriarchy, like that they've been born into, when it benefits them, and they want to be a man's man, whatever that is, you know what I'm saying, and put off, this strength and stuff like that. But the real strength lies in how you protect your own.
Facts. Facts.
If you can't have us,
Child.
I don't understand. And I think, I'm not trying to make this a gender war. There's, improvement that can be done on both sides. But, and I want to bring up some stats because there was like an infographic that was like
Okay,
floating around.
research.
That was
I love research.
it was an infographic that was floating around Instagram a couple of days ago. And it says Black women have a homicide rate that is twice the average homicide rate for all women. 56% of these homicides are committed by current or former intimate partners. 92% of these intimate partner homicides are interracial and committed by Black men. Black women experience domestic violence at a rate of 35% higher than that of white women and 2.5 times higher the rate of women of other races.
Jesus.
And then it goes on to say, what's so funny about a Black woman in pain? Why is it so easy for the world to dehumanize Black women? And why does the world partake in the ritualistic consumption of Black women's suffering?
Mm. Mm. Wow.
If we're in a relationship, so so if that is not alarming to you, that the fact that if a Black woman is in a relationship with a Black man, that and God forbid they pass due to homicide, that 92% of, like that, what?
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's a wild ass percentage. I was
That's
not
a
expecting that.
wild ass percentage.
Mm.
92%.
The thing is, they expect us to harbor their conflict with the world, and that's not
And we
fair.
can't do that. And we
Stop
can't do
putting
that
that
because
on
we
to
have our
us.
own. We
Right.
have our own. Like, we can't sit up here and hold. And that's why, when Black, guys want to be upset about folks saying like Black men are the white men of Black people, like, or the white women of Black people, like, and they want to be all about, but it's true. It's
You seek
fucking
validation,
true.
you play the victim, and
Because
you
as soon as we
protect it.
start talking about our pain, it's, oh well, what about us? Y'all, nobody ever wants to sit up here and talk about Black men and their experiences with sexual assault, up until Black women start talking about their experience with sexual assault, which 9 times out of 10 is at the hands of another Black man.
Mm-hmm.
And all of it, well, why y'all not? Well, y'all can talk about this anytime. That's the thing. And that's where I think, that's why I say it's on both sides. Improvement can be done on both sides,
I
because I
agree. I,
mean,
I
we're
agree.
guilty of holding up this, oh, like, Black men need to be, super strong. I don't want to see no nigga cry, and he got too many feelings for me, he's soft, and all this other stuff. And we really need to allow them the space to be vulnerable and to be them,
Emotional.
and
Emotional.
you know and
Emotional.
emotional, and to be themselves, and maybe that will alleviate some of this.
But see, I think we've accepted that, though. Some of us have started to accept that men can be vulnerable and emotional and express
Yeah.
themselves. Now, what I will say that Black women can do better about is not feeling the need to protect everyone. Like,
No.
protect yourself. At this point, we've realized that we have done all the caring that we could do, and at this point, it's not our obligation to save the entire human race, period.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to come to terms with. We also have to come to terms with the fact that we don't have to accept Black men's bullshit just because we want to be with a Black man. Like, no,
Yeah.
absolutely not. You, Black woman, don't have to deal with bullshit just because you want to be, or you desire to be with a Black man. I would rather you be by yourself than to deal with things that are unacceptable just to be
Okay.
desired, just because you want to be desired by a man. Like,
Listen.
desire yourself, and I promise you, the right affection, like I said, will come to you. The right relationships, the right intimacy will come to you, because otherwise you're going to go seeking out things that are not meant for you,
Mm-hmm.
period. And you're going to go save someone who needs the healing. And I've been in a position, in a relationship, where I was there to heal someone else, but that should never have been my responsibility.
Yeah.
I made that my responsibility. It
Yeah.
was my choice. And we talk about choices. We have to make better choices for ourselves, and to really protect our mental and our the progression of our healing as a whole. This is all going to benefit us in the long run. So I just really hope that, those that are listening, especially my girlfriends, y'all are like working within, so that you're inviting the right things into your space,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to men, because we don't have time for none of that energy. And that what it will force men to do who are not prepared to love a Black woman is to heal themselves. That's
Yeah.
what's nobody's gonna deal with you, because they're like, oh, Sammy and Eve warned me about that. My girlfriends warned me, like, I gotta stay away from men like you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, do you have a small like? Well, before we finish,
Yeah.
just want to say, We love you, Megan Thee Stallion. I'm praying for you and your healing, and not just physically, but mentally and emotionally going through something as traumatic as this situation.
On
And
top of the grief that she was already experiencing. Like, I just, yeah,
we really are feeling for you, and we hope that at some
absolutely.
point you'll feel protected and safe again, because I know it's going to take some time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, black owned businesses. I do have one. So shout out to my girl Ari. She'll probably be listening to this.
Hey
But
girl.
my homegirl Ari, she started her own catering business called Ari's West Sides.
Nice.
Um, and she's on Instagram at Ari dot Westside. So every week, she's cooking up some good eats. Last week, I had my cheat meal with her for the week, and I cheated. I cheated like a
What you have?
okay. She makes an incredible chicken sandwich.
You was about to
It
say
was
an impeccable.
impeccable, incredible. It was all the edibles. Okay. It was great. She makes a great chicken sandwich. I had some macaroni and cheese. It was very good, good Baptist macaroni and cheese.
Good Baptist mac and cheese. I do
It really
enjoy.
gave me like churches let out. And they got some food. Maybe you went to like actually I'm not gonna go that way because we never had macaroni and cheese. But maybe you just got out of a long fume. Imagine you're like, sometimes I wonder, this is off topic, but sometimes I wonder, how was Aretha Franklin's repast food? Because that was an 8-hour funeral.
I need you
So
to
I know that
get off the get
I
off get off.
know
You play
that
too
macaroni and
much.
cheese and that chicken and them string beans were on point.
Get away from me with this. Get away from me
No,
with
I will
this.
not. No, I will not. Because
Why would you ever?
y'all know the repast chicken be good. Y'all know the repast mac and cheese be good.
They
And I
said, what you choosing, the baby shower meatballs or the repast chicken? I'm gonna go meatballs myself, and I don't even eat that, but I'm gonna go meatballs. What you choosing?
I'm choosing repast chicken. There's a time and a place.
Wow.
Listen, that does not mean I don't appreciate a good baby shower meatball. There's a time and a place for them, and I'm always happy to indulge in a meatball when there's one around. But,
Got it. Got it.
you know, anyway, mac and cheese was delightful. She had cinnamon rolls, great. She gave us a little red drink. I ain't had Kool-Aid like that. I don't even know if it was Kool-Aid. I ain't had punch like that in a long time, but it was so, so good. So
Nice.
shout out to her. If you're in Atlanta, please hit her up again. Her Instagram is Ari.Westside. And she does like, she's had like catfish plates. I'm really trying to catch that catfish plate because I've been wanting some catfish.
Catfish.
Okay. She's done like shrimp grits. She has like red velvet cake. Like it's yeah. The girl be
Okay.
throwing down. Okay.
Nice.
So if you
Nice.
hungry and you trying to support somebody black, hit her
I
up.
love to see it. I didn't really have a small black or a business to share at first, but now that we're talking about food, and if you're in the LA area, I do have a fellow Howard alum, Booty Meat Kitchen. Shout out to Ohi.
Oh my
Booty Meat
gosh.
Kitchen. His
I've
plates be going
seen
off. I had the rasta pasta from him, and it was delicious. He always has like, I mean, just anything you can imagine. He's done like a oxtail burrito, I think. Was that him?
ooh.
Or some sort of burrito that was just kind of like, y'all follow Booty Meat Kitchen. Um, he named it Booty Meat Kitchen because he knew people would make that exact reaction.
No, that my face is not to the
Oh,
name. Although, listen, I've seen this name float around on Twitter, and I'm like, Booty Meat Kitchen, what? But I'm very intrigued by the oxtail burrito.
I think it. I don't know if. Okay, let me not misquote because I'm sure he can do it, but I'm not sure if
But
this
no,
was from him. But
I've
I
seen
did
the
see an
plate.
oxtail burrito. But his plates be going off, is what I'm saying. And he's in the Island Empire area as well as he delivers downtown LA certain times. So definitely hit up Ohi if you're ever in the area. He is doing his thing, Booty Meat Kitchen. He also is doing like a 365, basically like he makes a meal every day and posts it. So he did that. Oh, it's the it was a leftover barbecue egg roll. But he does
Ooh.
like a bunch of different types of egg rolls, burritos.
Mm.
Yeah, it was an oxtail burrito.
Oh my gosh, that sounds
Yeah, the
delightful.
food looks amazing, y'all. It's just wow. It's
That
just
that
wow.
looks great. I'm so sad that like I feel like my LA plans are about to be pushed back because COVID. Um yeah, I know. It sucks. It is what it is. But I have a list of places
That you're trying to try.
that I'm
Yeah.
trying to try. I'm gonna be out there for 2 weeks. So I got 2 weeks worth of breakfast, lunch, and dinner to eat.
I
So
can't wait. I can't wait. I'm excited to see you,
I'm
girl.
very excited.
Yeah, we can still make shit shake. I feel if you still want to, but we'll discuss that off the record.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm happy we have businesses to share and support today. And make sure y'all support if you're in the Atlanta or LA area and you're looking for some food, you're tired of cooking. Definitely hit up our friends. Yeah, this was great.
Alrighty.
It
Loved
was
it.
good talking to y'all. We'll see y'all next week. We love y'all. As always, you can follow me at Sammy Approved on all social media platforms.
And you can follow me at E Told You So on all social media platforms. You can follow the podcast at Girlfriends Pod on Twitter and Instagram. You can also visit our website at girlfriends.com for all the episodes and things like that. You can follow our YouTube,
Yes, this video will
which
be up.
will be linked on the site as well. Yeah, you can email us at girlfriendspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, like us on Facebook too. We're there, Girlfriends Pod.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we always forget Facebook, but Facebook's still there, and they be engaging with
Child,
us on there too.
it be some mess on Facebook,
It
child.
do, it do. I try to stay away from the mess though. We staying away from the mess. 2020, the rest of
Okay.
2020, we just moving forward. I love to see it. We love y'all. Have a good week.
Yes, bye.
Baby.